Hi, I'm Dr. Weiss, True North Chiropractic Center. Today is a very special day because I am going to treat one of my favorite patients who is a younger kid, her toddler. And the reason I'm doing this video is because not many people know how beneficial chiropractic care can be for not only kids but also toddlers and infants. So what we're going to do today is we're going to bring in one of my buddy Toby and his mother Megan, and Toby tends to get a little bit irritated, as a lot of kids do, but when it comes down to it, even though they're irritated, it's still a very good thing to do for your child. Chiropractic can help kids with many different things, from colic to not being able to breastfeed properly, walk properly, and many other things like that. So what we're going to do here today is I'm basically going to bring Toby in and his mother and just kind of show you how we adjust. The adjusting of a toddler and an infant is different than that of an adult. One, there's not much force used. We do use more tools, a thing called an activator, and we also use a vibration technique. I've already assessed Toby many times, so today basically what I'm going to do is we're just going to kind of adjust Toby based on his previous findings. So we're going to call Toby and Megan in here right now and probably expect a little bit of screaming. So come on in. So this is Megan and Toby. Megan, Toby, have a seat here. And most of the adjusting and everything we do is actually with the mom, okay? They're holding on to the kid. So you can see as Toby's holding on for dear life here because he's been here a few times and Toby's had some issues with his hips and also with colic. I would say we did a pretty good job on that, didn't we?
Yeah.
So he looks at me kind of like he knows what's going to go on, and most kids do. Oh, I got a smile out of him. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to give Toby an adjustment today. All right, and most of it's going to be done with Megan holding him, which is how we like to do it. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Megan sit here with Toby, just like this, and I'm going to come down, and I basically just feel down Toby's spine for any kind of abnormalities. Now I've dealt with Toby many times, so I know what's going on with Toby. So he always has one here in the low back. Now what this thing is called is an activator. This is a tool that puts out a little bit of a force. If you notice, you can set the intensity. So Toby has a little bit of an issue here. So basically, when we get Toby in the right position, he's just going to get a little bit of a click there. And what this is doing is actually just micro shoving that vertebrae forward to take the pressure off the nerve. All right? We're going to go down here as well. And Toby's also got a problem down in the low back. Okay? Now, one thing we're going to do is Toby has a problem with his hips. Now, the way I adjust kid with the hip problem is I have him lay on the side. So can you put Toby on his right side over your lap? The other way. Let's put them the other way. There you go. And then this side down. Look at him hanging on like he's not letting go, right? So a hip and a low back adjustment in an infant usually requires a little bit of a struggle here because they don't like to stay still, do they? So basically, we straighten the leg, we come here, and I just hook, come like this, and Toby's going to get a little bit of a hip adjustment right there. And that popped and released, and that's a hip adjustment on the toddler, okay? That helped you to walk there, buddy, didn't it, before, okay? So you can tell not all kids are happy for this, okay? Now, when it comes to cervical adjustment, it's the same thing. We're basically just going to have Toby up against Megan's shoulder, and we're going to use a little tool again, and we're going to try and get Toby to look straight down like that. Perfect. And we're going to come in here. As he moves. And sometimes the mom has to hold him. We try and do it as gentle as possible. But Toby, and there we go. So that's basically how we take care of a child and an infant. There's also techniques where we do vibration, where I'll actually place my hand on a segment that I find subluxated, and I'll vibrate versus there is no thrusting. So there's no heavy pushing or pulling like you would think there would be with an adult. It's not necessary for a child. So basically that was an adjustment of Toby, a shortened one. We had planned this out, so of course we had to make it as quick as we could, couldn't we, buddy, right? This kid would run away from me if he could. So that's going to conclude today's video. This is basically how we take care of an infant and a child and a toddler. And one thing I wanted to stress is how important it is to get your kids chiropractic care. Because through them infant stage to toddler, they fall down many times a day, numerous times a day. And if you don't get it corrected, it can cause problems not only with them now, but also in the future. And the problems don't usually show up until it's too late. So I'm Dr. Weiss from True North Chiropractic Center, and we hope to see your kids here so we can give them the best future they have and the nicest spinal care you can give them. Thank you very much, Dr. Weiss.